Russian forces launched an assault on the Huliaipole axis, using a modified Ural convertible truck carrying infantry. The vehicle was destroyed by coordinated action from units of the 110th Separate Mechanized Brigade and the 122nd Separate Territorial Defense Brigade. The press services of both brigades released video footage showing the destruction of the Russian assault group. The modified truck was used to advance toward the settlement of Dobropillia in the Zaporizhzhia region. For the assault, the truck's standard cargo bed and doors were removed and replaced with a metal frame that infantry could hold onto. Electronic warfare systems designed to counter drones were also installed. Thanks to electronic warfare systems, the assault group of about 10 Russian troops managed to get past drones that were trying to strike the truck on its approach and move closer to Ukrainian positions. However, Ukrainian infantry, 2 soldiers from the 5th Battalion of the 122nd Territorial Defense Brigade, immediately opened small arms fire and, with support from FPV drones, held off the Russian assault group until additional FPV drones, bomber drones, and artillery from the 110th Brigade joined the fight. To destroy the enemy assault group, Ukrainian defenders did not hesitate to use scarce cluster munitions, which accurately struck a concentration of Russian infantry. As a result of the battle, Ukrainian forces eliminated the attackers and held their position. According to the General Staff, on January 24, 2026, Russian forces attempted to assault Ukrainian Defense Forces positions 16 times on the Huliaipole axis in the areas of Huliaipole and Mern, and towards Sviatopetrivka, Nove Zaporizhzhia, Dobropillia, Zelene, Hrodivka, and Zaliznikne. This was not the first such assault attempt by Russian forces in this sector. In mid-December 2025, the Russian command had already sent a similarly modified Ural truck on what proved to be a suicidal assault on the same section of the front. At that time, the advance was stopped by soldiers of Ukraine's 33rd Separate Assault Regiment. They held off the Russians until Ukrainian artillery and drones finished off the assault group. It is apparent that this type of modification, turning military trucks into disposable delivery vehicles for assault groups, is a standard practice, at least for the Russian unit operating in this sector of the front line. The Russian command's apparent determination to break through Ukrainian defenses at any cost is likely linked to Russia's official announcement of the capture of the village of Dobropillia, near Huliaipole, back in early December 2025. However, from the OSINT geolocated position that Russian forces attempted to assault on January 24th, there are still 3 to 5 kilometers to the village itself. Operators of Ukraine's unmanned systems forces have thwarted an enemy attempt to advance toward Ukrainian defensive positions, despite challenging weather conditions and the inherent difficulty of detecting small infantry units. The operation was carried out by crews of the State Border Guard Service's Phoenix unit. According to official reporting, the enemy sought to move small infantry groups forward on one of the key operational directions, with the apparent aim of conducting assault actions against Ukrainian positions. These movements were detected and disrupted before the attackers could close in on the defensive line. The Phoenix unit maintained effective surveillance even under adverse weather, which typically reduces visibility and complicates target acquisition. Despite these conditions, operators consistently identified enemy activity and delivered strikes against exposed targets. As a result of the operation, several small infantry groups were neutralized. In addition, Ukrainian forces struck a UAV control point used by the enemy to launch drones intended to provide reconnaissance and cover for advancing personnel. Logistical assets supporting the attempted advance were also hit, further undermining the enemy's ability to sustain offensive actions in the area. The loss of logistics and drone support likely compounded the disruption of the assault effort. The targeting of the UAV control point highlights the growing emphasis on countering enemy drone operations, which play a central role in reconnaissance, coordination, and battlefield awareness for Russian forces. According to the State Border Guard Service, the Phoenix unit alone has inflicted significant losses over time. In January, operators reportedly struck more than 1,500 enemy personnel, underscoring the sustained intensity of combat operations and Ukraine's continued focus on attriting the enemy's assault capabilities. Russian forces have taken near-total control of Mirnorad in Donetsk Oblast, deploying artillery, command posts, and a commandant's office throughout most of the city, according to Ukrainska Pravda's military source. Ukrainian Marines now hold only the northern section and aim to keep Russian troops contained inside the city. Fighting continues in northern Mirnohrad, near the railway depot, and in the northern part of neighboring Svitla village. A Marine officer fighting in the Mirnohrad direction told Ukrainska Pravda. Russian forces control the center and south of the city. Russian forces are moving their command posts from Hrodivka into Mirnohrad. The occupiers have also established a commandant's office in the city. The Marine officer said Ukrainian troops observed civilians with their belongings being led out under convoy escort. Russian control over the skies has made defending northern Mirnohrad nearly impossible. All entry routes to the city have long been in the gray zone. Ukrainian forces have received no withdrawal order, according to the UP. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces recently advanced in the Pokrovsk direction, according to the Institute for the Study of War, ISW. Geolocated footage published on 28 January shows Ukrainian troops made gains in northwestern Pokrovsk. Russian forces attacked near and within Pokrovsk itself, as well as northwest of the city near several villages on 27th and 28th January. Elsewhere on the front, Russian forces advanced near Hrodivka in Bakhmut district and Klebanbyk in Kramatorsk district, both in Donetsk Oblast and in Zaporizhia Oblast's Mala Tokmachka, according to the monitoring project Deep State.